I started the Water Dancer project in February 2020, and whilst we've been severely limited by COVID, we have managed to complete the shoot. So I love dance. I've got a long running project on dance, and I wondered if I could incorporate water and splashes into dance movements. So here we are on the very first shoot at the Lenton pool. I'd already had it in my mind I would have to put the flashes in the water to capture a good exposure, but these are all battery powered flashes, so there's no danger at all to our dancers. We built a temporary stand using the stools that were at the pool just for Jane to stand on, just to give it a go really. And this is the very first shoot, and we tried some splashes, and you can see Jane's on the stool and we've captured a few splashes. But I knew that I would need more splashes. I knew it would be very difficult to coordinate a good dance movement and a realistic, attractive splash. I needed to record splashes and then I'd Photoshop them into the final image later. So here we are, we set up a shoot specifically to do the water drops, and Jane's throwing in the water and I'm trying to capture them against the black background so I can use them later on. And the key really to capturing these water drops is a very fast shutter speed. So I'm shooting at 6,400th of a second to delineate the water into drops. And here's Jane on the temporary stand we built. But I knew that stand was never going to be strong enough for people to stand on safely. And so we built a much more substantial stand. And here we are testing it for the first time. Now listen, it was never going to be me dancing on here. I'm not a dancer, but I needed to give it a test obviously. So here's me giving it my first test, and I always knew I was going to use young people for this, but here am I in my first water dance test. So this by now was shoot 3, and you can see the stand's a fairly substantial thing. It has to be able to safely, for people to be able to jump up and down on safely. So finally we came to the first final shoot, as it were, and that was in October 20. Really lucky, I worked closely with the swim instructor at Alisha Jo, and she'd asked a friend, mum, Alisha, and also another great mover, Dan, and her daughter Lilly. And here's Dan doing his stuff, and we did try incorporating splashes, of course we did, but ultimately they didn't really work. I could never capture them at the right time, and I always guessed that would be the case. It was more a case of capturing the dancer. Here's Dan's mum. I always like to have involved the parents when young people are involved, and preferably for them to be in attendance at the shoot if they can make it. And here's Lilly doing her stuff as well. It was just great fun. It was great fun. Oh, now Lilly, come forward, don't fall off the back. Safety is always clearly paramount at every stage, and you'll notice there's people in the water just in case, but she was never going to fall off dangerously. It would always be falls into the water. And the stand's right up back against the side of the pool, as you can see. So I had my great team with me, got Marlies helping as always. Here's Jo, the swim instructor, doing her stuff, and she threw some great shapes. And this video is the first video that's been produced by Alex, and Alex is going to be working with me on future videos to document the shoot. So a great job he made of it too. So we tried flicking hair, and it really does throw some lovely shapes, but I never ended up with an image that I thought was worth working up, but it's certainly something I will do in the future, no doubt about it. Lily's hair threw some brilliant shapes, just look at that. When you're doing a shoot this complicated, you really do need a fair bit of help, to be honest. And Marlies is always involved in all my shoots. And if you're the photographer trying to get across your ideas, communicate what's in your head, you also need other people to watch out for the basics, to be honest, and in that respect I'm really lucky that I've got a great team around me and people are prepared to get involved. Here's Alisha, and there's Alisha's mum, and as I say, I really like it when the parents get involved in the shoot. And here's Alisha throwing a wonderful shape here. And particularly this one, I think that's a really great shape. And Dan, I'm lucky with Dan. Dan trains in martial arts as well, so we thought we'd do a few martial arts kicks. Kung Fu, probably not the right description for it, but all these sorts of shapes are Kung Fu to me. And here we are, here's Dan doing his stuff. So for Lilly, we bought in a flag and we wondered if we could use that. My idea was to get it trailing out behind her. The truth is the stand wasn't big enough for her to move far enough. So we used Lily's mum, Jo, to hold the flag out. And then of course it was just a case of me shopping her out afterwards. I wish I'd put a bit of a ripple in the flag now, but I'll do it again. So here are my 4 water dancers, my very first water dancers. You were brilliant, guys. Thank you so much.